trying to get on the board. English. Flush to his right. He's got an open receiver, and that's Ray Brown, and that's a touchdown.
There we go.
Bootleg action. Has some time. Whizzes it over the middle, and it's picked off. What an interception by the Rams. Yes. Brandon Holmes with a diving pick, and the Rams are in business. The teams will shake hands at midfield, and this one will go into the books as a 23-14 win for College of San Mateo over Fresno City College. With the loss, the Rams fall to 2-3 on the year.
All right, welcome to another week of the Fresno City Football Report. As always, I'm joined by the head coach of the Fresno City College football program, head coach Tony Caviglia. And Coach, you always bring a player along for this. Introduce us to who you brought today.
Yeah, this is Jamari Carter. He's a defensive back, plays corner for us out of Central High School, and been with us for 2 years. And yeah, it's gonna be fun to listen to him today.
Jamari, you had a good game.
Yeah.
On Saturday. Guys coming off a loss, a hard-fought loss against San Mateo. San Mateo, the number one ranked team in the state. 23-14 the final. You guys were in this game all the way through. Yeah. I thought the defense played really well, and you in particular. I think you finished with 7 tackles. You had an interception. Actually had another interception that was nullified because of a penalty. How much fun was it on Saturday? I know you didn't get the result team-wise that you wanted, but just to be out there and playing against a highly competitive team like that.
It was really fun being out there with my brothers. Being able to compete against a high-level team, I think it brings out the most for us in our team. Like being able to compete against a great team like that and playing at a high level like that, it's actually fun. I get joy out of it.
Jamari's out of Central High School, one of a number of Central East Bengals now, right? But when you played, they were the Grizzlies, who are on this Fresno City football team. What's it like having some of your brothers from high school there with you now at Fresno City?
It's good. Honestly, growing up with them, being with the brotherhood, it's actually a good connection with them, and being able to carry this on and do this in junior college football is actually a good time because most people don't get the chance to be able to play with their brothers from high school. So I'm just blessed to have the opportunity to play with them.
Coach, let's get into a little recap of the San Mateo game. You guys fell 23-14. You led 7-3 at half. Defense was playing really well in that first half. You had a touchdown drive in that first half when Christian English came in the game. Again, you played 2 quarterbacks in this game. Yajay struggled a little bit in this contest. Yajay Vance, who started the game, quarterback out of Edison High School. Christian English came in the second quarter, kind of sparked you a little bit. But in that third quarter, unfortunately, I think you guys were outscored something like 17-0, I think it was, in the third quarter. Turnovers. The turnover bug bit you, didn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's hard to sustain any kind of offense when you're turning the ball over, and it's something that we got to buy into and make sure it doesn't happen again, because that pretty much cost us. And we still had a chance to win at the end, in spite of those miscues. But that's when you play good teams, you play high level football. I mean, just like we talk about pretty much every week, Scott, you and I, about the turnover ratio. It's a big thing.
Yeah, you guys, in the end, 6 turnovers. Hard to overcome that. You did force 3 turnovers actually in this game as well. So it was an interesting game Saturday night at Ratcliffe Stadium. The Rams, as they've been in every game this season, were right in it, but just came up a little short in the end. So Fresno City now 2-3 on the season through the non-conference portion of the schedule. You guys head into a bye week now before opening conference play with another big game at Modesto, the defending conference champs. You guys have a little rivalry with Modesto, obviously the Central Valley rivalry that you got going on. What will you do with this week, with a bye week at this point? Change much, or do you kind of just continue going business as usual?
No, we got to keep our team in shape. We're gonna practice hard. We're gonna be able to get back to some of the fundamentals that we haven't been able to do as we're in preparation for opponents. Get back to a lot of the individual drills. Going to back off a little bit of the contact here on the first early part of the week, but yeah, I think the most important thing is we got to get our team healthy again. We got to get back to some of the basic fundamentals of the game of football at any level, is blocking and tackling, and I think we're primed to play our best football, because we haven't done that yet.
your conference this year appears even more stacked than usual to me. Added Monterey Peninsula this season, and all they've done so far, being basically elevated from the lower division of junior college football into your league this year, is go 5-0 to start the season. So they actually have the best record in the conference. Modesto is always tough. COS is coming off a win over the number 2 team in the state, Butte. And then, obviously, you got Reedley, you got Sac City as well, traditional rivals for you.
Right.
Conference is a whole different animal, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we were a relatively young team starting the year and trying to get to know our players and find out what they do good and put them in positions where they can succeed. And then I think we know them pretty well now. We know each other. Our players know each other because a lot of guys, you know, other than the Jamari Central guys and the guys from our local high schools, I mean, even though you played against them, you never played with them. So players getting to know each other, and I think we're at that point now. And then, yeah, our conference is great. I mean, the value of winning conference is automatic berth into the playoffs, and that's the direction we're looking at.
So you're at corner, correct, out there, and so you're kind of on an island sometimes. Mm-hmm. What are you watching? What are you trying to pick up when you're watching film?
When I'm watching film, I'm looking at the receivers and the formation they're running, and try to understand the route concepts and what can they run or eliminate stuff that they're not going to run.
All right, so give me an idea. We're pre-snap here, and you see them out in a certain formation. Do you see a formation, and does it kind of click in your head, hey, I saw this on film, and so what are you anticipating?
Yeah, there was a 3-by-1 situation last game when the one receiver motions down, and he goes back out and plays out wide. And I'm reading for the key of how his release is. If he's coming upfield, I know he could either run a fade or a deep post, and if he doesn't, I know he only has 2 other routes: is a slant or a hitch. So it's really easy to read when you look into it.
But it's just easy like that, right? Yeah. When you put in the homework, you're prepared. And Coach, he almost sounds like a coach right there.
Yeah, Jamari would be a great coach. Yeah, I think guys like the game of football, gives them a chance to stay in the game of football, and sometimes coaching is a way to do that. We're going to finish his football career first and get his degree first, and then we'll see if we can help him get a coaching job if he wants. But he would be a good hire for somebody.
You've been doing this for a long time, obviously, nearly 30 years at Fresno City College, even longer just as a football coach. Can you tell pretty quickly, watching a player, when does it kind of click in and you say, okay, that player's been watching film on his own and he's been doing some extra study? Do you notice that right away?
Oh yeah, we can actually track it and see exactly how much film they're watching.
They're always watching.
Yeah, we know who's logging in and who's watching film and who isn't. Yeah, but you show up to practice, and every offense has tendencies. Every offense coordinator has tendencies, and it's human nature. And it's important that the players understand, what the offense is going to do in the particular field position, down a distance, formation, like Jamari said, if they do a special motion, what plays, being able to recognize is a huge part of being a good defensive football player. And the only way you learn how to do that is, obviously, your coaches are going to lay it all out for you. They're going to tell you, but then you got to internalize it, and you got to watch it for yourself, and you got to. It's like studying for a test all week and then taking the test on Saturday. And if you study, you're going to be fine. If you don't study, you're going to have to catch up a little bit.
I imagine that prepares you well, too, for the academic side of things, right? When you have to be disciplined in studying football, right? And that can carry over to academics.
I feel like, in a way, football is just like academics. I have to study my film, and then to order to study my film, I have to know what they're doing. And when I'm going through school, I kind of use the concept that I use for football, and in the case that I'm studying, I break things into parts so it could be easier for me to understand.
You're out there on an island, like I mentioned. It's one-on-one a lot of times, right? Especially when you get up tight, maybe in a third down situation, press coverage, bump and run. That individual battle that goes on between a receiver and a corner during a game, What's that like? And is there a lot of talking going on?
I feel like there is a lot of talking going on, but we try to little it down, make it more competitive and like have sportsmanship. But going back to what Coach C said during the week, he told us to play with like more confidence and not be on our toes. So going into last game, I was like playing with more confidence, playing upbeat. So yeah.
Obviously, you got Coach C with you right now. You've had some great coaches even on the way up, right? Kyle Biggs at Central High School. He's a bunch of other great position and coordinators there at Central as well. What was it like playing for a former Fresno City College Ram, Kyle Biggs, a former quarterback at Fresno City in high school?
It was great playing for Biggs. I honestly had few of my best years at Central playing under Biggs. It was a lot of fun playing under him, and I got to experience a lot of things and learn new things that I would have probably never knew if it wasn't for him.
Does he tell you a lot of stories about him lighting it up at Fresno City?
Yeah, he used to tell us a lot of stories about him at Fresno City, and going back to it, all we could do is just laugh about it.
You coached Kyle, right, at Fresno City? What was Biggs like as a player, Coach?
No, any story he tells you, I could verify it if you need me to. But yeah, no, he was a great player. I mean, he couldn't run. He was a pocket passer, but he was accurate. He was a competitor, just like he coaches. And when we get Central High School players, and we got a number of them, we know they're going to be ready to play and play fast as freshmen. Although it's a big jump from high school, and I know Jamari will say the same thing. So the skill level and the level of football is a big jump from high school, and it sometimes take guys some time to understand that. There might be a little perception out there that it's an extension of high school at this level, but it's not. This is as good a college football as there is at the four-year college level, especially the schedule that we play in our conference and the teams we schedule. So, Central kids are prepared, and I think that's that helps us.
Can't imagine all the players that you've seen come through, not only on your own team but on opposing teams over the years. That's
a lot of football players. I mean. And there's a reason why Matt Enns was at our game Saturday, sitting on our sideline, watching our pregame, and 15, 20, 25 Division I players on that field Saturday. So, junior college is very important for young men to get another chance to prove themselves and get another opportunity to show what they can do, not only on the field but academically. And it's a important part of our community is Fresno City College and community college football.
Absolutely. So many Valley kids coming up through Fresno City. You mentioned Coach Entz being at the game on Saturday. I'm just curious. I think people are always curious because I looked down there and I saw you guys talking pregame.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Are you talking about the kids and the family? Or are you going over individual players, or what's it like?
I just asked him what he was doing with all his free time, because they're on a bye week. He said, "Well, I'm here." But no, it's all about players. I mean, I want him to see all our players and look at our position groups. And he had a roster in his hand, and he was eyeballing guys. And I think he left our stadium. He didn't stay for the whole game. I think he saw maybe half the first quarter, and then he took off. But I think he has a good feel for who we have and who he wants to follow and who he wants to recruit. And see if we can get some offers out there and get a nice little pipeline into Fresno State, or continue that little pipeline that we got, because there's a lot of good players here that would love to play over there.
How would you describe your relationship with Coach Entz? Have you guys been in regular communication? Or?
Yeah, I knew him a little bit before he went to SC. And we reconnected, obviously, when he came back here to Fresno. And I just think we speak the same language. I think he understands how to coach the game of football and how to prepare a football team and how to motivate a football team. And I mean, on Saturday on his bye week in 95-degree temperature, he's out on the field watching the Rams play. So, in this business, if football isn't important to you, it's hard to be a successful coach. It's got to be important, and you got to work at it. And you know, let alone his knowledge of the game, and especially defensive football is top notch. But he's going to work it, and he's going to recruit Valley guys, and I'm excited about that.
You know, Jamari, are you aware that Coach Entz is there when you're playing on Saturday?
Yeah, I seen him on the sideline right there. I try to put my best show on just to show him what I could do. Yeah.
Well, I'm guessing that he came away pretty impressed after your performance.
Yeah.
7 tackles, and you know, again, 2 interceptions. One of them was nullified by penalty. What do you hope? I mean, obviously, you're hoping to play at a 4-year school.
Yeah, I'm hoping to play at a 4-year school next year. Right now, I'm just grinding out, trying my hardest in practice, trying my hardest in game, just to get the opportunity to play at a 4-year level.
What would be the dream school for you?
Right now, my eyes are open. I don't really have a dream school for college football right now.
Did you grow up going to Bulldog games, or?
I went to a couple, but I really went to more basketball games than football games.
Are you a basketball guy?
Yeah.
You played in high school as
well?
well?
I played in high school. I played for 2 years in high school, so I was kind of a basketball guy until I got hurt, and then it turned me to football, so yeah.
Okay. Usually the other way around, right?
Yeah.
Usually guys get hurt, and then they go back to baseball or basketball, right? Was basketball your first love? Or?
Yeah, at first, growing up, basketball was my first love, and then kind of through my high school years, I fell in love more with football, and it just carried me through there.
Point guard? What are we talking about here?
Point guard and shooting guard, just shooting the ball, dribbling up the court and stuff.
Good handles?
Yeah.
Quick? Mm-hmm. All right. I might have to see some video of this. Yeah. Did you play, by the way, with Cedric Coward then at Central?
No, that was...
He was a little bit before you, right?
Yeah. I think that was my sophomore year, so I don't think I got... That's the year I got hurt and then came up to varsity. So, yeah.
What's it like, though, seeing a guy like that? I mean, we talked about the great players who come through the junior college football ranks, but here it is, you know, a kid from Central High who's now, you know, first-round pick in the NBA.
Yeah, seeing someone play like that is just astonishing, honestly, because I'm not really used to seeing something like that locally. I've been to, like, many big games like that. To see a player locally like that, where the school I came from, doing something as big as that. So it's kind of crazy seeing that from a fan perspective. So I couldn't imagine just being there, just with them.
Yeah, that's cool. Very cool. Central, I'm sure they have a game this week, right? They're opening conference play as well, now referred to as Central East, because there's two. There's a Central West now that's just known as Central. Will you go to the game this week?
Yes, I want to.
Okay,
I
you
attend it.
go check it out, right?
It's against Clovis North too. Yeah.
Okay.
A 5-0 team. I think it's gonna be a good game. Going back to it.
And Coach, he's probably your best recruiter, right, for those Central guys?
Yeah, you know, that's what we pride ourselves on. Our current players, our former players, helping us recruit guys. Because every recruit that's considering coming to Fresno City College is going to ask us about the experience, and if there's a chance to get better and develop, and you know, our players are our best recruiters.
And you have to be constantly recruiting as well. We talked about Coach Entz being at the game. Give me a little idea of what it's like, the year-round recruiting process, because I see you out at high school games all the time on Friday nights before your games.
Yeah, first of all, I like doing it. I like to get out and I like to watch the guys. There's nothing better for me is watching a football player live in a game. You know, I like to see how he takes coaching, what happens, because not everybody has great plays, and how they handle themselves when they make a mistake or a bad play. You know, how they carry themselves on the field, their effort level, those types of things. And you know, we get out, we start watching. There's 9 of us coaches that get out. We watch two games every Friday, and by the time, you know, right around the bye week, we pretty much have a good list of guys that caught our eye that we really want to follow, and then we wait and see what the 4-year colleges do, and you know, obviously we're not gonna go against a scholarship program that's given NILs to guys, but there are a lot of guys that are going to be passed over that we need to recruit, and my staff does a fabulous job recruiting, and will continue to do that.
You know, famously, right, Aaron Rodgers, we mentioned about earlier in this show, was recruited, right, when Jeff Tedford, when he was at Cal, was looking for somebody else,
Yeah,
right?
Tedford was looking at their tight end. I want to think his name was Garrett something.
Garrett Cross, I think
Garrett
his name
Cross.
was.
Yeah, exactly. This was 1999 or 2000. This was 2000, so it was a long time ago. and Aaron Rodgers still playing. Could you imagine that?
That's crazy.
Maybe it's 2001. But he came to look at the tight end because Tedford liked.
Yeah, he was at Butte College. Aaron Rodgers was at Butte College at that time.
College, right? And Tedford was recruiting. He just got hired, I think, at Cal, and he hired J.D. Williams. Also was on that staff. And in that game, Aaron Rodgers caught his eye, and sure enough, he went on to a great season. And they did actually take Garrett Cross. They took Aaron Rodgers, and they also signed Matt Giordano off our team. And that was a hellacious football game. It was pretty intense, and glad we came out on top so we could talk about it 30 years later or 25 years later.
I'd still be asking you about it, but you just wouldn't be smiling as you're retelling the story.
Yeah, right.
I just wanted to follow up real quick. How often does that happen where you go to a game and you go in with a preconceived notion of, hey, I'm looking at a couple of these guys, a couple of the players you've heard about, and then there's somebody else who's just kind of popping off the page at you?
Yeah, all the time. And most of the time they're underclassmen. You know what I'm saying? Because the seniors, we're in contact with the coaches. We know their guys. He tells us the seniors to look at. And all of a sudden you go to a game, you're watching the senior, like the Sam's kid from Clovis North a year ago. I went out and watched them play. I said, "Who's that guy?" And that's Tyree Sam's boy. So, it's usually the underclassmen that you don't really know about, and if they jump out at you, it's you file that in your notebook, and you follow that kid through the summer and on to the next year.
Jamari, I want to ask you some fun questions here before we let you go and wrap up this edition of the Fresno City Football Report. Give me a corner that you watch, either in college football or the NFL, and that you maybe like to pattern your game after.
Thinking back to it, a player that I look back to is probably Jalen Ramsey. Ever since coming from high school, watching him play on the Rams and the Jaguars in his early days in Florida, it just the way he competes and the way he sees football is just an amazing way to look at it, and I think he's a fantastic player to watch.
Who's someone that you lean on heavily in your life and that maybe gives you the best advice at times, and what's the best piece of advice they've given you?
I think my dad is the person I lean on the most. He gave me some important piece of advice, when I go out there on the football field, he tells me this every time: go out there, have fun, play your best or do your best, because you don't know if it's your last time playing football.
What's something that you can do, or a skill that you have, or a hobby that maybe your teammates don't know about? It's kind of hidden underneath, but it's a hidden talent.
A hidden talent of mine. I can't really think of nothing off the top of my head, but I could say that.
Not singing in the shower or anything like that each morning. All right, so if you weren't going to play football, all right, I think I know the answer to this already, but I'm going to take basketball off the table. Mm-hmm. What's another sport you've never tried that you want to try?
I always wanted to try soccer growing up. I always thought it was a cool sport, and the way that they play, I always thought it was fun. And growing up in elementary school, I played soccer, but I never got to play on an actual team. But it was fun playing there for a little while.
Okay.
I'll probably be a pretty good soccer player.
I imagine he'd be pretty good. Coach C's right here, so I know that you might be a little shy about this, but when you and your teammates are together away from the coaching staff, you guys doing impersonations of Coach C, or are you going back to his tried and true lines? And what is that one line that you guys say to each other?
Yeah, when we're in the locker room or just outside the field, we bring up a saying that Coach C says, and it's kind of funny, but it's a little bit inappropriate, but it's a good saying.
Gotcha. Yeah, we'll keep that. Although we're here on the app, so I don't know. I don't even know if the regular rules might not apply actually for language, but
I want to know what that is, really,
yeah.
but don't.
We're gonna have a conversation, I think, later about this, which will be fun. What's impressed you the most, Jamari, about Coach C, though, as a head coach?
The way he could bring a team together. Like this year, I feel like he really put an emphasis on doing that because having a young team is kind of hard to get everybody on the same boat. So coming down to it, being able to bring us together and as a brotherhood and not have us playing for ourselves in a sense, but for playing for each other and for one another and not thinking about anything different than that. I feel like that's a great trait that Coach C has.
Coach, when you hear your players talk about that, what does that mean to you?
They're listening. I mean, not to pat my own back, but I mean, junior college football is hard. Half your team's gone every year, and there are kids that Jamari played against in high school that beat his teams, or even I'm sure you played basketball against Yaje, right? Mm-hmm. in high school, and then they have to show up and they got to develop we have to develop a positive culture and a chemistry, and there's sometimes if you don't show kids how to do that, they don't do it. You have to be able to give them the tools to develop that chemistry and that culture and how to take care of each other and not put each other down and be positive with each other. And like one of the number one rules we have on our team is if you don't have something nice to say to somebody, don't say it. I mean, there's no bullying, there's no talking trash to each other. We don't share practice film because Jamari makes a great interception and he wants to put that on social media. It may make him look good, but the receiver that maybe didn't run a good route makes him look bad. So we don't do that. We don't do anything to detract away from each other, and players are going to get theirs, but they have to understand, and the 4-year college coaches need to know this too, that they understand what it takes to win as a team and play together as a team and work together on a team and make yourself the best player you can be, and that's going to help the greater good. So I appreciate that.
Oh, that's great. Final thought, Coach. We're in a bye week, so we're not really looking ahead to a game this week. We'll be back next Monday, and we'll talk more about the matchup with Modesto. But give me a final thought about where this team's at. 5 games in, 2-3, been in every game, kind of a young team, still growing, and what might be ahead for this team.
Yeah, that's we talked about that a little bit this weekend. We just haven't played a complete football game complementary football. We've had games where the offense has been lights out, had games where the defense has played great, like Saturday. We got to complement each other a little bit better. We got to play a lot better together. Once we put it all together, I think we can really do some damage to some teams that are down our schedule. But we still have to do that. We just made some bonehead mistakes Saturday. We made some bonehead mistakes the week before in San Francisco. Games we could have won, should have won against best teams in Northern California. So I think we just got to put it all together, and we're still we're playing well in parts, and that sometimes is not a very good recipe.
All right, well, my thanks as always to the head coach of the Fresno City College football program, Tony Caviglia, and to his star cornerback, Jamari Carter. Jamari, was this fun?
Yeah, it was really fun. Experiencing this, it's really nerve-wracking, but it's a It's a good experience to have.
Yeah, get out to Ratcliffe Stadium, and you can see Jamari in action. He's a lot of fun to watch. He's been making some plays in recent weeks. Again, Rams on a bye week this week, so no game on Saturday, but then they'll be at Modesto coming up in 2 weeks, basically. So what is that, 12 days from now? We're taping this on a Monday. Coach, appreciate you coming by. And Jamari, thanks again for coming by. That's another edition here of the Fresno City Football Report.